Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, aka the Bod Father, and as always, I bring you guys awesome interviews. And today I have on the line with me Mr. David Sanchez. He's a guitarist and vocalist of Havok, and they have a new album that's ready to come out called, and I hope I pronounced this right, Conformicide, out March 10th. And the previous album that came out was back in 2013 called Unnatural Selection. So this is the follow up to that. And I got to listen to this the other day, and hell of an album already, dude. So you guys keep knocking it out of the ballpark. Let's get right into this. So what's impressed you the most about making the new album, Conformicide? What's caught your eye about it? I know this has been 3 years in the making, so let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, well, things took a little bit longer than normal because back in late 2014, I actually broke my left wrist. And after they put it in a cast, they had set it incorrectly. So I got out of the cast and wasted 4 months, and they told me, oh, you need surgery. So I had to get surgery, and I couldn't play guitar properly for about 9 months.
Damn.
So we had to take some time off from touring, but it was okay because I was able to write a lot of lyrics and gather some ideas for compositions and stuff. So that was part of the reason that this one took a little longer. And, the last record, we were touring so much and we made it just like as quick as possible. This one, we took a little bit more time and we wanted to outdo ourselves. So. And
that sucks, though. You break your wrist, they put it in a cast, and then find out, well, you're going to have surgery on it. I mean, that blows. Jeez.
Yeah, when they told me that, I just looked at the guy. I was like, "That's what I told you the first time." And when he was like, "You need surgery," it's like, "Yeah, jeez. I told you that, and I'm not a surgeon."
Wow, that's ridiculous. But I stayed in a Red Roof Inn last night, or whatever that commercial is.
Yeah, perfect. Jeez. I had to save a bunch of money on my car insurance.
There you go. So how was working with producer Steve Evitts on this, man? Because he's worked with Sepultura, the Dillinger Escape Plan, and MOD, and Warbringer. How was working with him on this?
It was cool. He pushed everybody to get the best performances out of them, and we cracked a lot of jokes. And when I was in the studio with him, I was talking, we were quoting South Park and George Carlin and The Simpsons a lot.
Now, you guys did this at his actual house, right? At his studio?
He's got a studio, but it's not at his home.
Oh, okay. So he just pretty much let you guys go about your own way and stepped in when he had to. How easy was it working with him on this, though?
Sometimes difficult, sometimes super easy. Most of the time, easy.
What has adding bassist, and I hope I pronounced his name or his last name correctly, Nick Schindezels? I hope I pronounced it right. Probably
yeah, you pronounce it like shin on your leg and jealous. Jealousy.
Okay.
Shin jealous. But working with Nick is awesome. He's a really, really great bass player, and it's great. He can play like just about anything on bass that you throw at him. So that, and writing-wise, he writes some cool stuff and pretty easy to work with when we're bouncing back and forth ideas. What's
he brought to Havok, David, that was missing possibly, if anything?
I don't know. Just a good attitude, I guess. Dude's funny and generally pretty happy about this. So it's nice breath of fresh air.
Any songs off the Conformicide album that stand out more to you than any, possibly?
Well, I think the song "Song" has some really interesting music in it that people might find unusual for a thrash band. And it's also very long, but it's got like a good build and a weird intro and some weird stuff in the middle of the song, and then it's got a solo section that's completely independent from the rest of the song. It's the solo sections, the riffs that are going on underneath the leads are nowhere else to be found in the rest of the song. So in that regard, it's kind of a special song. When it gets to the middle, you're not hearing those riffs anywhere else on the record.
What helps you keep your mind fresh to open lyrics that you've not done before? Is it kind of hard to pick some new stuff from time to time?
Well, I've got a giant list of ideas to choose from, like a bunch of concepts, and I started whittling down that concept list, and we wound up with the lyrics on Conformicide. I've still got a giant list of other topics I'd like to cover, but we covered most everything I've ever wanted to say is kind of contained on this record.
Would you guys consider this album your master of puppets? I know some people have said this is kind of like, your guys' Master of Puppets album. But what's your take on that, man? Because I know this is your all's baby. So what's your take?
Well, I'm not necessarily. I wouldn't consider it comparable to Master of Puppets or Rust in Peace or anything like that. That was said in the press release. That was not us that wrote that, by the way.
Right.
But I do think it's our best album. I think it's the best Havok album that's ever been made, and I think people are going to really dig it once they give it a listen.
What do you hope the fans take away from this album, David? Once they start to listen to it and digest this, man, what do you hope that they get from it?
I want people to snap out of their television stupor and hopefully start to think for themselves a little bit and wake up.
Yeah, and be your own damn person.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
Stop following the fad. Be your own person. Do your own thing, for sure.
Yep. There's a lot more happiness on that side of the fence.
I see
following the herd.
And I see so many people fighting on social media over the stupidest bullshit ever, dude.
Yeah, no doubt.
What can fans expect at a show from the Mighty Havok when they come out to see you guys live for the first time, or previously? What can they get?
Expect to see us headbang and get very sweaty. And we like getting the crowd to interact with us on the stage, get the crowd yelling and screaming a lot and moving around. So if you come out to a Havok show, it should be a really good time.
Do you guys prefer the digital era that we're in right now with recording albums and getting your music out there more, or do you all just want to be in the studio together, putting the albums together, or do you want to send track to track to each other, or how do you all work on this, and do you like this at all?
Well, I think the digital age is cool because, you can go back and perfect things, or you can, take as many passes as you need to get something down properly, or, there's just the options of what you can do are practically unlimited in digital. However, I'm not opposed to possibly recording something on analog someday, or recording an album like all the four of us live in a studio. Mm-hmm. I'm not opposed to that at all.
In your own opinion, David, what does Havok bring to the table for music that's not out there right now, man?
Well, I don't hear a lot of bands talking about real issues, so that's one thing that's going to set us apart from most bands these days, I think.
What made you want to become a musician? What was that spark for you that said, that's what I want to do right there?
Old Metallica.
Yes.
Hearing those riffs, I was like, I need to know how to do that.
Yeah. Live Shit Bends and Purge was my favorite live.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I when I was first starting guitar, I would throw that on and have my Explorer on and my little practice amp, and I would play along with a lot of those songs.
Did it seem, though, man?
It always got me so pumped.
But did it seem, though, David, when you pop that VHS in and start listening to it, and it just seemed like when it came through the speakers, it's so crisp and so clear, and it hit you so hard. That was just, all three of those videos, those concerts were badass, period. That's it.
Yeah, I love them.
Oh, man, I wish things would go back like that again.
Hey, no kidding.
So any show or moment that stands out to you more than any that, being a part of Havok, that you couldn't believe that you was a part of actually doing?
Yeah, we played a festival in Colombia called Rock El Parque, and it's a completely free festival to the public. And we played in front of about 40,000 people.
Jeez.
That was completely surreal. And it was just literally like an ocean of bodies out in front of us. I remember looking out while we were playing, and I could count like at least 10 circle pits going on. You could tell that they were circle pits because you could kind of see the movement, but you could definitely see all the dirt being kicked up, like a little dirt devil out there.
That's awesome. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, that was easily the most memorable and unforgettable thing.
What about Rock on the Range? Are you guys on Rock on the Range this year? I don't think so.
No, never played that.
I wish
never
you guys
played any of
were.
those American festivals like that.
I wish you guys were. I don't understand that.
There's still time. Maybe we'll wind up on it.
Yeah, I like to see you on Louder Live, too, in October in Louisville. I like to see that for sure. What's it mean to you guys when you receive an email from a fan or prior to your shows or after your shows? They'll come up to you and they'll say, hey, look, listening to your all's music has helped me through a tough time or it's made me overcome obstacles. It's gave me inspiration just to just to relax or whatever. What's that mean to you guys?
That when we hear things like that, it's seriously, like, to me, one of the coolest things ever. when somebody comes up and tells us that our music had like a major impact on their life in a positive way, that's really cool, because that's kind of like an unintended consequence of playing in a band. You know, we like playing music and we like going out and playing shows, and it makes us feel good. I like watching people get excited, but you know, that's about as far as you think it's going to go. And when people come up and say that, you know, this song really helped me through a difficult time, or, you know, your music really means a lot to me and it inspired me to quit my job and do this, or you know, inspired me to pick up an instrument. Now I play in a band. Like, you know, the fact that our little band from Denver, it has changed the course of people's lives, is pretty amazing.
Yeah, are you shocked about that at all? I mean, coming from Denver, on how much support you guys have gotten from all over the place. I mean, U.S. and overseas, man.
Yeah, it's a trip, man. You know, like I said, it's not. Those kinds of things are unintended consequences of what we do. I didn't start this band so I could change the direction of people's lives, and the fact that happens is amazing.
You know, I've always said this, and I'm not saying this just because you're on here. I said this before when you was on here, but honestly, man, there's no other band that could come close to Metallica as far as like being heavy like they are, used to be, and everything, than you guys are. I mean, honestly, and it's awesome.
Oh man, that's a huge compliment. Thank you.
Honestly, I say that a lot, and I'm everybody that says who we need to listen to, Havok. Havok's in my top 3.
Hell yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And support. Hey, that's no problem. That's what we're here for, brother. How can people stay in touch with you guys, buy some merchandise, buy this new album? How can you do that, David?
Well, you can go to havokband.com, and that's HAVOK, Havok with a K, havokband.com, and on there's all of our tour dates, and there's links to pre-order the record and to buy merchandise, and take you to our Facebook or Twitter or our Spotify or iTunes or Instagram. All those links are right there on our home webpage. And I just actually started a Twitter page yesterday.
Oh.
So if anyone wants to follow me on Twitter, it's David Freethink.
Before I let you go, will you care to do a promo for the show?
Yeah, of course. Right on. What's up? This is David Sanchez from Havok, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We got some great music coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and Uber City Radio. Thanks, David.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, man.